All right, welcome in Virgos to your December reading. This is for the whole month. So we're going to tap in and see what the last month of the year is going to look like, how we're going to wrap this up. So we are closing out 2025. I think a lot of people are happy that 2025 is closing up. It was definitely... I feel in general, it was a bit challenging. So the word that's coming out as a theme of 2025 was like a bridge year. Especially we've had, generally I feel people could say since like 2019, 2020, right? Obviously we had COVID, we had all the things, but since then it's kind of been years of challenge, of change, of really the old fighting with the new, and like this constant tug of war with us, especially with Pluto moving out of what am I thinking? Capricorn, sorry. Moving out of Capricorn, which is very, stable, likes, things a certain way, likes kind of order. And then we move into Aquarius. And Aquarius is about innovation. It's about change. It's, how do we improve? How do we, how do we change and innovate to align with where we are now? And we Pluto finally moved into Aquarius the end of last November. So now we've had a full year of Pluto being in Aquarius, but it's like we're still kind of in that beginning stages, right? We're in the front degrees. So there's still that conflict, but this was like the bridging year because it does take some time, and I think Pluto is going to be in Aquarius for about 20 years. So it's going to be a long, drawn-out process. And especially Pluto, because there's so much going on. It's you don't want to change that much, that depth of transformation in a year, right? It's easier to digest and to process and to actually make such huge changes that Pluto really brings through a longer period of time. So this is the bridge year. This is taking us into 2026, which I do feel overall is going to shift. I mean, we're still going to see a lot of, the conflict isn't going to go away necessarily, but I feel like there's a lot of innovation internally within us that's going to manifest out in our lives, especially for those of us that are more aware and conscious, and our frequency is vibrating at a higher, just higher divine level here. Okay, so Virgos, as far as astrology goes, it seems like for everyone, what I'm picking up when I'm kind of looking into the astrology, the very beginning of the month, there's a lot of focus on finances. I do feel like finances have been kind of up and down this year. There's been a lot of financial constraints, people facing a lot of deep kind of belief systems around money, around lack. And those, a lot of people have those. So those have definitely been thrown in our face and really want us to look at them and kind of program our unconscious around our relationship with money. So the beginning of the month, you might want to, you might be feeling more inclined to kind of hunker down with your money. It may require you to kind of budget or look for a new way of creating more stability in the money space, but that's going to be short-lived. I mean, that should be the first 2 weeks. We have the full moon on the 4th, which for Virgos, you may see some breakthroughs in your career space. You might get some recognition for something that you've been trying to get. Maybe in general, you want more recognition. Also in that, that's a positive spin. So also if there's been kind of issues in your workspace or problems. You could kind of see things finally all of a sudden like magically not being a problem anymore or kind of resolving itself. Also, we have on the 6th, Jupiter moves into your 10th house of career and status. So same thing around that time. You'll see improvements in your work sector. Things can just be be easier. You may be more easily see things progressing in your career, more accomplishments, things like that. Then we have around the 10th, Mercury is going to be in opposition of Uranus, and that's more to be aware because it could potentially cause more misunderstandings in your communication or sudden kind of clashes, especially with family or friends. So I would just be careful of that time. It doesn't mean you shouldn't voice your opinion or voice your truth, but if you do face that, you'll see that maybe people are feeling a bit more feisty, or there's going to be some differing of opinions or misunderstandings at that time. I think overall towards the end of the month, the energy is going to lighten up a bit for everyone. So it's looking good there. Okay. And just some housekeeping items. If you're interested in a personal reading with me, you can book one on my website, which is linked below in the description. I am going to be doing, starting, next week around Black Friday, a short little discount if people are, want to do that. And then also for the holidays, some great gift ideas. Check out my Etsy shop. And I have handmade stone jewelry, like these bracelets I'm wearing, and I work with them metaphysically and energetically, so they are all activated and cleansed and ready, just primed for you to use as tools in your spiritual practices. Again, you see stones. I have stones everywhere. Stones are a great tool. And they have so many uses, whether it's if you need special protection, if you're, having a hard time sleeping, there's stones for that, or just overall help with your dreams. You can have stones that help with anxiety, or if you're going through any sort of process of healing, there's support there. So it runs the gamut. There's definitely stones that kind of like a base set of stones everyone should have, especially like rose quartz, right? Selenite, this bowl of selenite. You have your amethyst. Citrine is a great one for manifesting wealth, abundance, just positive things and energy. And smoky quartz or darker stones are great for protection, warding off negativity, things like that. And they're great to put around, especially your workspace or your bedroom. So just some things there. But let's go ahead and get started into the reading for December. So I'm going to start off and we're going to pull some cards around kind of your past influences right now, your past energy that's influencing you coming into December. So we have Eagle Spirit, Freedom, and Finding Sanctuary, opening to your spiritual source. So I feel like you're definitely freeing yourself from something. I also feel like you're gaining some sort of confidence to get out there and kind of spread your wings and fly just like the eagle, right? Finding power and strength in yourself. And maybe it means that you've had to move away from something, leave a job, and kind of go off, take a risk, and take flight. And kind of you're going out of a place, I feel, that's kind of maybe been comfortable for you. But this is about getting out of your comfort zone. So I feel like this 2025 has been about getting out of your comfort zone. And especially Virgos, you're about your comfort zone. You're about your safe, kind of stable place. You're definitely about home and your routines and details and making sure everything is just so. But it's kind of, again, there's this fine line between freedom and sanctuary, right? Because yes, a sanctuary is great. And I definitely feel like maybe you're also moving out and finding a new place of sanctuary. So you could be talking about moving or have recently moved, or just reinvigorating your space, maybe some renovations as well, to try and create a more aligned energetic space that is more aligned with you now, and making some changes there. All right, let's pull some tarot. We got the Three of Wands, 10 of Cups. Yeah, the Sun, definitely. There's, it feels like, your past energy is feeling pretty positive here. You're definitely expanding in your life, expanding, especially when it comes to potentially your personal life, family, just abundance, really wanting to I feel like there's a lot of potential. There has been a lot of potential for you in the recent past, and really focusing on what are the things that kind of following your bliss, right? What's going to fulfill me? Like really focusing on fulfillment. I think that's been your new shift. Is not just focusing on, what I need to do, the day-to-day, the day-to-day routines, or again, there's something about comfort zone. And I feel like what used to be a comfort zone for you is kind of almost like you're feeling like, this isn't aligning as much anymore, or it's not fulfilling me as like it used to. And now you're focused on, and that's coming up for everyone. It's a time to focus on what's fulfilling for you, what aligns with where you are now. And everyone's frequency is changing. There's a lot of transformation and shifts happening. 2025 was the year of the snake in Chinese astrology, zodiac, whatever you want to call it. And that really, and also it was a 9-year. So that's kind of a completion year. Like we're ending a cycle. We're also with the snake as we're shedding our old skin. So whatever was once fine and normal and comfortable and safe, we're feeling that urge to kind of do something new, go somewhere different, change it up. So I'm really seeing that for you Virgos out there. So let's see where your current energies are. So we have love, the wild rose fairy, and faraway places. Get ready for new horizons. Same theme here. There's something about change, about new things. And especially this could also be around romance. So there could be I feel like for some of you who are looking for love, I feel like you're going to be called, like your soul is calling you to even a place, a location, or really you're being drawn to go places or do something here with this new horizons. And that's where I feel like you're also going to meet someone. For those of you maybe in relationship, I feel like there's potential to kind of deepen connection here by maybe traveling or getting out of the norm, right? There's something about needing to get out of the norm. So if kind of you have a normal routine and you've been together a long time or are married, I feel like there's being called to invigorate, kind of, again, spice it up, light the fire by getting out of the normal and adventuring together. All right, we got the Temperance card, 7 of Wands, and the 10 of Wands. Yeah, I just feel like the day-to-day things for you have gotten a bit mundane. You could have there's something here with these wands around, there's a little bit of an uphill battle here with the 7 of Wands, like feeling like you have to there's like resistance here, and like, okay, a situation specifically, or in general, you've been feeling that has been kind of an uphill battle, and you're kind of over it. Maybe you've had to carry a lot of obligations or responsibilities, and you're kind of really feeling it. You're feeling the heaviness and needing again to lighten your load. To me, this is also lightening your life, like simplifying things. Like, this is moving into next year. I feel like the focus really is going to be on you and like what makes you happy, what fulfills you, not always focusing on other people. But there's some sort of, with the Temperance card here, I feel like there's been some sort of alchemy happening in your life. And alchemization is trying to work with the energies to find more harmony. It's like, you know, mixing this and that energetically, like what fits. Like maybe, okay, I'm going to do a little of this, add a little bit of that. Oh, wait, maybe that doesn't feel right. It's about feeling into yourself and listening to your soul, listening to what your intuition is telling you, and really focusing on that. Because, you know, I feel like maybe Virgos, there's something about tending to maybe, you tend to push what your soul's saying or what your intuition is saying in lieu of, well, I got to because everyone else is in agreement. It's like you don't want to be the one person that says, you know, kind of resists something or pushes back. It's like kind of going along with the crowd. But I feel like this pattern has definitely ended up being heavy for you and just creating burdens. And it's like, again, focusing on what's right for you. So let's see what's coming in for you. I'm gonna mix these up quick, and this card wants to come out. So we have new beginnings and embracing enthusiasm. Shout to the heavens with happiness. I do feel like there is some sort of new beginning happening for you, right? We talked about that freeing, getting out of something that maybe has been your comfort zone. But I feel like once you do that, you're going to start feeling like, oh, I'm feeling passion again. I'm feeling excited about, you know, doing this. This is aligning with me more. This new thing is aligning with where I'm at. This could be like changing jobs, making a decision about a change, I feel. I mean, this could even be about a move, something like that. So this is some good energy coming in for you. So there is some sort of new beginning that's on the horizon for you. Let's get some more information about this new beginning. Knight of Pentacles. The High Priestess. Yeah, this is something you just know. Like you're just ready. Your intuition is saying, yes, this is what I want to do. It's time. I do feel like whatever this is, there's been some slow progress with like maybe figuring it out or figuring out a change, what you want to do. Or maybe you have been kind of slowly trying to make like go in that direction, or maybe it was a goal of yours. But now it's like, you just know it's time. The Strength card. Yeah, it's going to take some courage and confidence to, you know, again, make this big change. Like get out of your comfort zone, get out of something, you know, it could be a job you've been in forever. It could even be a relationship. I'm not seeing much about love, but we have the Ten of Cups and the Sun. So this could really be in any of your area of your life where you just have felt like, yeah, this just, you know, I'm kind of ready. Like the energy shifted. What once was fine for me and like felt okay is just, you know, I'm ready to expand. Like my soul's calling for more. And let's see here. Then what's in the good stuff for December? What do we need to know about positive stuff? Gratitude. And then unknown territory. You are exactly where you need to be. So, right, I think with the Knight of Pentacles, we're definitely going back to the bridge. Like we're in this bridge energy of like going from one to the new. And a lot of people on the bridge can feel a little, it can be confusing. It can feel a little like you're looking forward into an unknown of like, what's ahead? It's new. I feel like it's new and I'm being drawn to this. I don't want to go back to the old. But, you know, it's just like trusting where you're at right now and trusting the process and just trusting that life is going to unfold exactly how it needs to. And I do feel like there's a lot to be grateful for, Virgo, this month. And I feel like that's what you should focus on. And maybe it's been an interesting, you know, like here looking at this, like maybe you've been feeling like looking back at the last, you know, especially 7 years. We had Uranus the last 7 years in Taurus. And so that's also closing up. So there is a completion cycle happening. Uranus and Taurus has really asked us to really, again, Uranus is freedom energy, and you got the freedom card. Uranus wants to free us. It's about freedom. And where do we need to free ourselves from the Taurus energy, which Taurus is really, again, about the stability, our comfort zones, security. But the old things that we tied ourselves to that gave us that security is now not, it's like a false sense of security now with how much is changing. And Virgos, you're similar to Taurus. You're both earth signs. So you probably felt a lot of this. Like a lot has happened in the last 7 years for you. And it really, Taurus is like surprises, or sorry, Uranus is about surprises as well. So you may have had a lot of shakeups in your life, a lot of sudden changes, a lot of sudden endings potentially, but maybe you felt an unknown territory in the last 7 years, but I think you're coming into 2026 feeling a little bit more like, okay, I'm getting more grounded in the new energy of, also the new energy is never is this very like ever-changing environment we're in. And as Virgos, you may not feel that great in that sort of energy, but I think you're starting to get more comfortable in that. So this is the positive stuff. So let's see here. We got justice. Love that. Finding a lot. It's like you're finally getting your, I'm saying like retribution, but like maybe you felt like a very karmic cycle happened to you in the last 7 years, but now it's like things are finally coming back around and you're getting almost like your rewards for the hardships or anything difficult that you went through. Four of Pentacles, there's going back to the false sense of security and safety here. But what's happening is you're actually now building, you've been building a stronger foundation that's actually really safe and secure. The old was not safe and secure, and you really held on tightly to some things in the past because it was a false sense of security. And now you're really learning what true safety feels like, whether it's in a relationship or a career environment or just energetically within yourself. And then the Eight of Pentacles. So you've definitely, you know, this could be leaning towards work, that there's going to be a shift in work and it's going to create more harmony in your life. And also I do feel like whatever this new work shift is also going to create a more solid foundation as far as like wealth, money, and abundance. But it's also just going to be a more secure job or line of work for you. If that's not the case for some of you, this is just referring to like some working through doing the inner work and the karmic work, right? Because justice does refer to karma. And, you know, again, going back to what am I holding on to because of my karmic ties, because of my karmic patternings, experiences, and doing the work. And you've done it here in the good stuff. Since this is a good stuff, like this is really, to me now, it's almost like it's a period where it's a period of rest, of not having to do all the karmic work. And now you're getting some sort of reward. And now being able to experience new things that aren't tied to the old karmic patternings. Let's see here. I'm just going to clarify a few things. 7 of Wands and the 10 of Wands. Knight of Cups and the Page of Cups. There's something about relationships here and being able to truly open your heart. Potentially that because of the past, I do feel like you've kind of maybe closed yourself off a bit in some way. And I feel like potentially if you're with a new person or you're looking to, you know, have a new relationship, I think you really need to be cognizant of that, because it's almost like the old stuff or the old hurts are still kind of blocking your cup, which the cup represents our heart and emotions. So if we're still blocked by dense negative emotions from the past, we don't have space to really receive the love of like new love. And I feel like there's someone here that's really wanting to, you know, for you to really receive them. And maybe you feel like you have, but if you're still holding on to stuff from the past, you know, it seems like this love has definitely been an uphill battle for you leading up to current. And it's time, because this is representing a closure. So it's time to really close the door karmically to anything from the past that didn't, that was a more negative experience or a karmic situation for you. Let's see. The Knight of Pentacles, the King of Wands, and the High Priestess Strength card. 8 of Wands. Yes, you're being called to make some sort of moves, some changes. Yeah, there's definitely opportunities here to move towards something new. Like I said, this could be a new job, a new work, a move, an actual move, or again, this could, the 8 of Wands can also refer to love. So like the arrows of love. So opening up to something new coming in for you. And the same thing with the King of Wands. I think just like you've been trying to, it's like this elevation from the Knight to the King. And the Knight is like, the Knight of Pentacles is like a slow progression, a slow energy. There's a very diligent, focused, like, you know, tactical, like day-to-day doing the things, like, but it's like, the energy is slow because there's too much focus on the details and it needs to look a certain way. And, you know, there's some caution here. So that's that Knight energy, which is kind of very Virgo, but it's kind of starting, the shift here is about the King of Wands. It's Wands energy. So this is about moving from more of the doing energy into the being energy. And finding the confidence and strength within yourself to see the power you have, the skills you have. And not only that, but like aligning with your authentic self and expressing your authentic self and doing things, maybe doing new work, doing new job that aligns more with your true self is really going to shift your life. And there may be some, you know, the Strength card, you may need to face some fears or have the confidence to step out of the old into the new. And what's the Four of Pentacles? Chariot. Yeah, you're definitely moving out of this stuck energy. 8 of Pentacles. Look at that. So we have the Queen and King of Wands. So there's definitely some sort of power couple here as well. So if you are looking for a relationship, there's something really great coming in. If you're in a current relationship, I mean, this is just, there's an elevation happening for both of you where you're going to feel more stable in your life and more aligned with a life that like fits where you're at now, like I said. Justice, Four of Wands. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of karmic balancing coming back for you in your personal life, in relationships. So I just feel this huge shift for you happening as we move through the month and into 2026 here. So some great stuff for you, Virgo. I'm loving this reading. This definitely, the themes are about, you know, getting out of your comfort zone, freeing yourself from the old, and kind of opening yourself to all these new things that are awaiting you. So, okay, Virgos, well, thanks for joining in. Also, I wanted to just put a plug. I'm going to be doing a 2026 yearly forecast for all the zodiac signs. That'll come out probably next month or in December sometime. And we're going to take a look at the themes. Specifically look at the Saturn-Neptune conjunction that's happening, I think, in February. That's going to be a big one, and how that will impact you guys specifically. And then there'll be an extended where we're going to dig into specifically love and romance for Virgos, and also work and career. We're going to hit both and figure out what the outcome is of 2026. So that's going to be exciting. But otherwise, you have a great month. Have great holidays if you celebrate. And I guess the next monthly reading will be in the new year. So stay connected with the weeklies as well. But thanks for joining in, Virgos. Bye for now.